For over 2 centuries, my family has been marking with their fingerprints the flour milling industry in our region, starting from Greece and moving to Turkey, to Palestine, to Syria, Lebanon, Ethiopia, Egypt, Jordan, and beyond to the United States. My great-grandparents started operating wind flour mills in the early 1800s in Sparta, Greece. In early 1900, my grandfather Nicolas moved to Damascus, Syria to work as a flour miller, while his brother Dimitri moved to the United States to work in the steel milling industry. 3 of my grandparents' children, my father, Theodore, my uncles Constantine and Elias, became flour millers. In 1920, my great-uncle Dimitri returned to Palestine, where he worked in flour mill in Jaffa. He eventually bought that mill and moved it to Beit Safafa in the outskirts of Jerusalem. My father went to Greece to finish his high school and university education. During World War II, he was taken captive by the Germans. He managed to escape his captivity and eventually returned to Palestine to join his uncle and brothers in the Beit Safafa mill. Another unfortunate event happened, the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, and unfortunately, the Beit Safafa mill was destroyed. The family moved to Syria. My father worked in Homs at the Lababidi mill, and then moved to Beirut to work with the Atallah and Fallaha mill, while my uncle Constantine moved to Ethiopia to work as a flour miller, and then to Egypt, and eventually he made it back to Greece. In 1949, Najib Bakhit approached my great-uncle Dimitri in Damascus and asked him if they can make a mill in Amman. So, my great-uncle, with my uncle Elias and the Bakhit family, established the modern flour mills in Amman, Jordan in 1949. My father joined them in 1960. My grandparents and my parents were always visionaries, and they believed in diversity and diversification. In the early 1960s, they built a pasta plant, which was one of the oldest, if not the oldest, pasta plant in the Middle East. My brother Dimitri is also a flour miller. He worked with our family, but then moved to the United States, where he worked for several flour milling companies. Today, he runs and operates his own flour milling consulting company. As for myself, I was not planning to become a flour miller. It was my uncle Elias that persuaded me to join the family business. It seems it was my destiny, or perhaps my genetic predisposition, to become a flour miller. I studied at the Swiss Milling School and officially joined the modern flour mills in 1988. Today, at the modern flour mills, we're into our 3rd generation. Together with my partner Bakhit, his son Najib, my cousins George and Alexei, we have further diversified our portfolio. We have included snack food production and a mixing plant where we produce a variety of bread and cake mixes and flour improvers. Aside from flour milling, the lesson I learned from my grandparents and parents, and an advice that I would love to give to all, is that we should stop focusing at the minute things that drives us apart, and rather to look at the vast common things that we share and cherish, and that brings us as humans together. I greatly appreciate the great recognition that you're giving me and my family today, and from one miller to another, a very sincere thank you.